Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the forecast. This is Alexia Landa, and today we're going to be talking about October, the forecast for October. What are we going to feel? How are we going to feel? Obviously, this is a general way of seeing the month. Everyone's going to feel this vibration differently, so it's more of the collective's vibration. How is the overall vibration going to be, and how to connect to it within ourselves, because at the end of the day we're still individuals. So how are we going to make it individually connected to our day to day? That's what it's all about. And October is going to be this month of seeing what you have co-created. You're actually going to see it, you're actually going to feel it, you're actually going to connect to it. And this connection doesn't mean, oh, I'm at the result already. So don't think of results. Think of, what have I been thinking about that is coming into my life physically. So you're going to see that projector be in action, and that projector is your third eye, it's your imagination, it's how you perceive life. So it's going to be just very obvious. So whatever you think about, it's just going to come instantly. You're going to start noticing how connected you truly are to yourself, to everything around. You're going to start noticing who's around you and why. So be paying attention to patterns. How do you feel around certain type of people, or after being around them? And again, this isn't about blaming anyone. It's also about, maybe you're perceiving them in a way that it's truly about you and not them. So it's always about bringing back the information into use to notice why you're around certain people, why you perceive them a certain way, why you need something from someone or something. It's always about, how am I taking in information? Of course, there's situations where you notice that someone is just not compatible to who you are, or you're not compatible to who they are. And this doesn't mean judgment. This doesn't mean they're right or I'm right or who's wrong here. It's more about lack of compatibility and saying, well, I don't synchronize, I don't resonate with whatever they believe in, or how they act, or how they whatever their belief in connection is. So always think about, it's not right or wrong. It's more about, what do I want to connect to and what am I compatible with? And October has a huge um, impact on that. It's going to have a huge impact on that, on compatibility, on why am I still connected to these type of people, and I'm always mad at those type of people, or I just don't understand them and I'm trying to understand them so much. Why do you want to understand them? We have to think in a way of, or resonate with our own needs, resonate with what we believe in, with what we understand. If we don't understand someone, maybe it's not that you don't understand them, it's more that you're seeking to either connect to their validation, or connect to reassurance, or connect to compatibility when there's none, because you have them at a certain level of something. It could also be that you are trying to be understood, so you want to understand everyone, but since you don't understand yourself, no one can understand you. So there's a lot of factors behind this, of why are you trying to understand people that maybe you just don't agree with. And maybe you want them to agree with you, but they don't have to, just like you don't have to agree with them. So it's that power of agreeing to disagree. And October has that energy. Um, it's like a lesson that we're all going to receive. We don't have to all agree to disagree. We don't all have to think the same. And I think we will see it at some form in the bigger picture as a society, how collectively living together, it's not about having to agree with everything. It's more about, where can we connect? How can we connect? How can we empathize? How can we have compassion? How can we stop avoiding one another's needs? What are the common needs? Usually, the common needs is, I want to be heard, I want to be seen, I want to be given some sort of space. Um, some sort of importance, because I want to feel purpose and meaning. So once all those needs are met, then we can really just resonate together as a society without wanting to push whatever belief is best or worst or whatever duality teaches us. Because in reality, when you live in non duality, you understand how we can all be co creating together and the responsibility behind it, the responsibility of co creation as a whole, as a team, as a collective. So it's more about grounding information. So October is all about grounding. And after so many interviews, which was so exciting to do, honestly, I never thought I was going to have so much fun interviewing people. I think it's one of my favorite things to do now. And just noticing how everyone, at the end of the day, all the tools may seem very similar in some way or form, but everyone needs different tools. Everyone is at a different space or place in their life. Everyone likes something different. But at the end of the day, we are all spirits finding ourselves, finding our purpose, finding our meaning, connecting to it. And this sense of being a spirit and walking on earth as a spirit with our own language, our own human language, which may separate us into the field of science, into the field of fashion, into the field of some sort of belief system or way of living, into the trainer and coaching environment. At the end of the day, the foundation, the what makes them keep going, what makes us keep going, is the spirit, is the need of meaning and purpose, is the connection to meaning and purpose. And the connection to meaning and purpose, it truly is I want to wake up and feel like I have a life to live and feel like I have a life to experience. So it's all about the experience, and everyone's going to understand it in their own language, whatever they like, whatever they connect to. So it's about understanding that we all have the same needs, we all have that same meaning and purpose, and wanting to show it, because showing it is so beautiful. And once you start resonating with showing it and not wanting validation, you start connecting to those people that show it just like you do, and you just embrace one another. You just notice one another. You just see one another without needing to have a certain amount of whatever people call success or not success. It's more the success of fulfillment, of I'm living through that purpose and meaning. So I want everyone in October to truly ask themselves, what is the meaning of success to you? What is that definition? What How are you connecting to it? Because success is not about a number, it is not about happiness, it is not about achievements. Success has to do with purpose. So how are you expressing your purpose? And truly seeing your definition of success internally. What tools does success need for you? And how are you nurturing that path? How are you adding to it? Because it's something that just keeps growing. Maybe today your success has a lot to do with just being able to listen to people because you like to listen to people. But tomorrow your success is going to add, maybe, well, yeah, I used to listen to one person an hour. Now I can listen to a group of people at the same time and receive questions. So success starts becoming an evolution as well. And it has to do with purpose. And I always get asked about purpose in the career environment. And I want everyone to understand that when it comes to purpose and passion, you it does not have to be in the career environment. Purpose and passion has to do with your authenticity, which has to mean it is connected to your truth, to your essence, to who you are. So if your truth and your essence is, I just want unconditional love, so my purpose is to bring this full blown unconditional love. I just want to give unconditional love. then what you're going to do is bring purpose to everything. So your purpose is unconditional love, and you're going to connect it to career, you're going to connect it to family, you're going to connect it to every field that you connect to, every scenery, every occasion. You're going to live through purpose. Because if you just make one part of your life connected to purpose, then that one part is going to be what makes your life be. So if something goes unexpected, if there is someone that has some sort of control on the physical external aspect of it, you're going to think that your purpose is being controlled, or you're going to feel like you can't meet your purpose. So, purpose, you have to remember, it's about the essence, it's about authenticity. And everyone has a purpose, everyone has meaning in life, everyone brings meaning to life. You at least you have an effect on everyone around you, and at least you have an effect on 5 people that you might not even notice you do. They might even be strangers, and you say, well, no, I don't really know them. But you walking into a room, your energy has an impact. The way you say hi, the way you carry yourself, the way it's becoming a mirror, and that's already purpose. Being a mirror to whatever's around and whatever's surrounding you. Even if you don't know what that is, even if you don't know how they perceive you, it's still an impact. So if you carry yourself with your purpose, then no matter what the feeling is. That's why I don't believe in the whole, oh, they were being negative or positive or this toxic positivity. Doesn't matter. Maybe one day someone was having a bad day, but they were so connected to their purpose of unconditional love that it didn't feel like it was heavy. It just felt like they were being vulnerable. They were just expressing themselves. So when you do things with purpose, you take away the negative and positive, and you just have this neutral energy of purpose, of authenticity, of essence. And that's the language of the spirit. And that is how you connect without having to try. That's how you connect without having this anxious moment of how are people going to perceive me, or did I do something right or wrong, or why was I myself too much? I'm too much now. And you let go of all those belief systems of how things should be and shouldn't be. And you understand that it's not about right or wrong, it's not about negative or positive, it's about purpose. And purpose has a lot of vulnerability. It's about showing up as you all the time and understanding that has an impact. You might never know who it has an impact on. You might never know what people think when you speak, when you laugh, when you smile. And it's not about you saying, oh, yeah, because I have such an impact. No, this isn't about doing it um, with an intention of now I want to be a teacher. This is about doing it with the intention of I am free and I am living in my purpose and I want to feel fulfilled by my spirit, because that's true fulfillment, by expression of your spirit. So October is really about grounding that energy instead of keeping it in the mind, instead of keeping it in the thoughts and second guessing yourself about who you should or shouldn't be because someone might think something wrong. It's more about that internal dialogue, that inner dialogue, and truly listening to it and saying, wait, why am I judging myself before I even speak? Who told me this? Or where does this thought come from? Why do I have it in me? And it's not about judging the person who taught you that ideology or belief system, because maybe they got it from someone else. Again, it's a whole chain of where it comes from and how it comes from, and that's why we're not supposed to focus on the past. We're in the here and now, and if you have this information, it's because you're ready to heal this. You're ready to let go of this. You're ready to change your vibration. So, October, it's about grounding those thoughts and truly connecting to that inner dialogue of, am I nurturing or am I attacking myself every time I think? every time I want to express, every time I want to react a certain way or act a certain way. And we have to understand we live in a world of reaction. So everything is reaction. Everything is um, whatever other people perceive is usually very external. Of course, there are other senses that we have that sometimes people don't notice and they think it's theirs. For example, if you're very sensitive and you're around in an environment where there's a lot of sad people, you might start feeling sad and think it's your sadness, but it's truly not. It's just that you were around that vibration, so you pick up on it, and whatever vibration is around, it might connect you to a memory, it connects you to an emotion, it just starts connecting. That's why I believe in the law of connection, not necessarily attraction, because there's so many things that we just connect to. We don't necessarily attract it. And when you're just seeking attraction, then you're not experiencing life. You're not seeing truly what's in the now. You're missing out on it because you're in the future. So it's all about the law of connecting and noticing where you're connecting to. So the law of connecting is not just about co-creating, it is also about noticing what am I connecting to and why. So it has this self-awareness in its vibration of, okay, if I'm connecting to this, what was happening internally and what is happening externally, because I have no control over what's in the external if I am in a new situation, if I step into a new place. So I have to be self-aware of what is this connection about. Of course, everything has purpose and everything has meaning. So maybe you were connecting to, let's use an example. Let's say that you've been trying to connect to your artistic side. And you're walking around this new neighborhood, and then you walk into the store, and the store is artistic. It's all about art, it's all about paintings. But then you start connecting to the feeling of sadness. And this law of connection has many sides to it that I teach a lot on BBU school. For those who are there, you know, it's been weeks of us kind of going over the different ways of law of connection. But usually when you connect to these feelings, the feeling is very subtle. The feeling is natural. That sadness, since it's natural, since it's just subtle, it's not a reaction, it is not something that feels like too much. It's just a feeling. It's instant, and then you have to kind of decide what to do with it. It's its sensation. A feeling is a sensation. So if the feeling of sadness comes in, it might be this, you have to become self-aware. What is this sadness about? Well, maybe I was just missing a place like this. Makes me feel sad because I haven't been connected to it in such a long time, but I've never been connected to it. So that's maybe a connection to a past life. But then we have the reactive side where it's just an emotion. So emotion is energetic motion, which means it can come from an external space because it's energy in motion. So maybe you walk in and the sadness is very loud, it is very uncomfortable, and you feel it a lot more physically than internally. And when I say physically, it's like your physical body starts to react more than you just feeling it subtly come into your chest, come into your mind, kind of like thinking about it. The energetic motion is a lot more loud, and it might even connect you to a memory instantly. Because what our physical body does is that we have this energetic field around us. Once it picks up on the energy, it activates in our physical body this like sensory system. That's how I can explain it. That's how the guides show me the HBBs, and the sensory system where it starts connecting you to different memories of safety, of you felt this before. you've had this reaction before. So when that happens, you have to understand it's coming from the external. And since everything has meaning and purpose, you have to ask yourself, why did I need this? Why did I need to remember this? Why did I need to energetically connect to this? Well, maybe could be that you haven't released it, so you still call in the energy. Maybe it's that you just stepped into the wrong place, so you can just leave. So you have to be very self aware if you've healed something or not. Because healing is not something you have to do for the rest of your life, by the way. You can embody the healing. Answers, clarity is a huge part of healing. So if you have answers and clarity, all you need to do is connect to other tools that you might need. For example, forgiveness. For example, um, changing the pattern of whatever you had to heal. And once you change the pattern, then you embody the new pattern because you have to exchange it. You embody this new pattern and you're healed. You're done. So it's very important that in the law of connection, you understand what's the difference between the sensation versus the energetic motion, which is very reactive and physical, and it's connected to memory. Because our physical body loves us so much, it's part of our team, that it's going to want to connect us to some sort of memory and be like, hey, you've been here before. So it snaps us into that memory of, oh my God, it's true. I've been there before. I need to run. So you have to be aware and say, wait, we're okay. We're not in the same situation. So I'll just step out. But that's when you know that you don't have to be around a certain type of energy. Or it might remind you of a very beautiful memory and say, ah, yeah, we've been here. Okay. We like this. We know what this is about. So it's about learning that communication within yourself because it's not just your mind, it's not just your heart, it's a whole system. You're a team, you're a full team of these beautiful mechanisms that just speak to you all the time. So grounding this information is truly, it truly has a lot to do with silence, not being afraid of silence. I think that's one of the biggest fears people don't talk about. Being afraid of silence, it's a true thing. I think that's why it's such a big deal of not being in darkness. By the way, I'm gonna take a little bit of a sip to my tea, so give me a second. Thank you, everyone. I've just been speaking for 22 minutes nonstop, which I love, by the way. I just needed a little bit of tea. But what I was saying is that this tool of silence, being afraid of the dark, means that spiritually, truly, it has a symbolism of being afraid of your own inner self. So, like I've said before, um, evolution is about activating everything within. So we're here activating all these tools we have within. We're full, we have everything in us, and the external world is just this beautiful experience that helps us activate it. And as we're activating it, we're having these experiences that we get to call memories, and we get to achieve things, and we get to experience the emotional and the feeling world, and as we're living, we are living in our purpose. So, as we're living and living in our purpose, we start to add a consciousness, which is how you activate these tools. And as you're adding this consciousness and releasing the subconscious, which means subconscious is this big gray space. And as you're adding consciousness, it starts getting smaller and smaller and smaller. But although it gets smaller, we have to understand that we're always students and we're always learning something. So don't think it's like, oh yeah, I've achieved this much and that much. It's not about measurement. That's a very human way of seeing things and that's beautiful. But when we're connecting to spirit, we understand that it's just spirit is having fun with this experience. So adding consciousness and letting go of subconscious doesn't mean that there is this big goal or no, the goal The commitment is to just be human and understand that being human is very spiritual. So, as you're adding consciousness and you're adding this light, you have to understand just even physically looking into the sun, it hurts your eyes. But at night, when you look at the moon, you're fine. So, light is always going to be, it's always going to be silence because light brings in the truth. And the truth is usually what is avoided the most, and it's the most powerful tool. And the truth always asks you to connect to compassion and unconditional love, which means that if you don't like silence, you might need to forgive something somewhere. And forgiveness doesn't always mean, oh, I have to forgive someone. It might even mean I have to forgive life for something that I thought I was going to have and don't have, or I was going to experience and didn't experience, or that I wanted to learn and didn't learn. So it's just so many things out there. Or it might even be you avoiding some very specific things you have to do. And the have to do might just be your mind telling you that you have to do it because you have some sort of belief system, or you feel like you have this huge responsibility. It all depends. So, silence is the most beautiful tool out there that I want everyone to practice this October. And the best way to practice it this October is by understanding that silence means that you're not going to have an instant opinion. Because usually, opinion is thought to be intuition, and it's not. That might just be your perception or perspective of life that you're putting onto someone else. Intuition is subtle. Intuition might even be a little bit connected to self doubt sometimes. But you just know, and you're like, I just know, but let's see what happens. But opinion is very strong and bold, and it says, yeah, I know it is what it is. I know this is it. Why? Because it's a belief system. So I want everyone to tap into that silence, ground their thoughts, and get to know themselves. Get to know that inner dialogue. Get to know truly what's going on in there. So that whatever is unnecessary, you can just let go and see it as connecting to abundance, because whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're believing in, that's truly just taking away energy, is you spending your prosperity on that, because energy is money. So if you want more abundance, I would truly connect to silence, and I would learn how to discern. I would learn how to be like, wait, why am I spending my energy on this instead of this other thing that has to do with the now? Because everything's about the now. And I'm very excited for October because, well, one, I have a lot of new things coming out, so I can't wait to share that. But another thing is, everyone's going to see how they watered their seeds. So I can't wait to hear how you watered your seed, how life is showing you that how you spent your energy, which is water. Your energy is water because we live in a world of water. We live in a world of emotions, energetic motion, and it's every reaction you take. So, however you react, that's how you're spending your abundance. So, if you feel a lack of abundance, pay attention to your reactions. Is your reaction always lack, assumption, um, critical, ready to fix, ready to solve? Which, by the way, fixing and solving are really good tools when necessary, but they're not supposed to be used all the time because they use a lot of energy. So instead, maybe convert it to nurturing, silence, understanding, with lack of assumption, with lack of opinion, so that you can even truly connect to silence and truly connect to intuition. And then if there's something to solve and fix, you'll know. It'll come in. You'll see what that is. So it's time to detach from whatever is taking away your silence. That's what October is all about. So thank you everyone for being back. Thank you for being here every single week, for your beautiful messages, DMs, emails. I am truly, truly grateful for all of you and can't wait to connect again. I'm excited for all the interviews in October and thank you so much. I hope everyone has an amazing month, amazing day, amazing week, amazing everything. Sending so much love and light to everyone. Bye.